If you need a partner,
sweeps to get the opponent to submit. And it is actually an actual martial art, but it's also used for street fighting, and they use it in MMA, and you guys have probably heard of UFC, ultimate fighting and mixed martial arts. But as you can see by the picture on the screen here, these two guys are actually, it's also kind of like wrestling. But it came from judo, and judo was over in Japan, in China. And this guy here, Mitsuo Maeda, back in 1914, came over to Brazil, and this guy Gracie here on the other side of the screen over here, they were the people that actually, this guy Maeda stayed with them and trained this Carlos Gracie. And so that's why jiu-jitsu is actually, here in the States, it's called Brazilian jiu-jitsu, because it was actually started in Brazil and then came up to the States in the 90s. But so Maeda over in Japan, it was actually part of judo. And judo is where you throw people. It's been around forever, and where you use leverage, and you can have people that are bigger than you and stronger than you. You can throw them and get them to submit, and it's actually also used for self-defense and things like that. So what happened was they took the part of judo and they integrated it into jiu-jitsu, and then brought it up to the States. And then the mixed martial arts and ultimate fighting and all that started using it as part of their martial art. And then it became a real martial art where they started giving out belts like what I have on here. I'm a beginner, so this is a white belt. But one of the things that I was going to talk about as far as what jiu-jitsu is in relation to healthcare is that it has a high incidence of injuries. And the reason for that is because, like I said, it uses joint locks and chokes and things like that. And I have this is called a gi. And one of the things you do is, when you're wrestling, and I'll go back to this other slide here, you see how they're grabbing each other. Well, the uniform is actually part of what they do. So, like for example, if you'll notice here, they're grabbing each other's arms and stuff, but they're also trying to grab each other by the uniform. And when you're on the ground wrestling, you can actually grab people by the for example, by the cuff here, or by the collar, and then you can actually use it to choke people. And you can grab people by the and then I've got another slide here. See how this guy's got his arm? It's called an arm bar. And what he's trying to do is hyperextend his arm. And so that's one of the reasons. See how this guy's grimacing in pain. The guy in the white there is winning, and this guy in the blue is going to either have to give or submit, or he's going to be in trouble. So what happens is that there's a lot of injuries, because that's one of the ways you get people to give up or quit wrestling, is to get them to submit. And arm bars are one of the main ways to get people to do that, because it hurts. And so it's come under some controversy as to, is it safe? So I talked to my instructor, and ironically enough, he's a black belt, been doing it for a long time, and he's pretty beat up. And he admits, he said it's a very, you do get hurt. He's got, his back hurts, his ankle hurts, and I've only been doing it for about 6 or 7 months, and I've already gotten some minor injuries, some sprains and this, that, and the other. But it's a contact sport. I mean, more so than a lot of the other martial arts. A lot of the other martial arts where you can practice and do things, but in this form of the martial art, you tend to, the contact is pretty